So density function. So probability density function denoted by small fx of x and is defined as derivative of distribution function. So fx of x is equal to derivative of fx of x by dx, where fx of x is called density function of a random variable x. Okay, so what is the condition for the density function to be existed here is, since the density function is derivative of distribution function, if the derivative of f, capital F is the distribution function, if the derivative of capital X of x exists, then a small fx of x, that is called density function, will also exist. Okay, so there are some places where the derivative does not define. Okay, so in that, for example, we see these cases. For example, if you take continuous random variable, we have continuous distribution fx of x, but fx of x may have corners. Okay, so that is the points at which the slope will change abruptly. Okay, so in this case, fx of x is plotted as a function with a step type discontinuities. Okay, so for example, if you take continuous random variable, the distribution function will be given by this figure. So this is the figure that will denotes the distribution function. Okay, so here at these places where the slope is changing, at these places the derivative is not defined. Okay, so in such cases the density function, that is the derivative of distribution function, will be having the step waveform. Okay, so if you take the derivative of this, what is the derivative here will be a step waveform. Okay, and here we have to observe that the area under this density function, the area under this density function will be always 1. So here the width is 12, the height will be 1 by 12, so the total area under this step function will be always 1. Okay, so in the case of this continuous random variable, the density function will be denoted with the step waveform. Okay, so it is having the step type discontinuity. Okay, so see here, the continuous will be plotted as a function of step type discontinuity for the case of continuous random variable. So in the case of continuous random variable, the density function will be plotted with the step by step type discontinuity. Okay, and similarly in the case of discrete random variable, in the case of discrete random variable, we have seen that the distribution function will be having state step form. The distribution function will be having state step form. Okay, so that we use the impulse signal del of x is used to describe the derivative of fx of x at this state step points. Okay, so we use the impulse signals wherever we have state steps. We use impulse signals to denote the derivative of fx of x. Okay, and we also know the properties of impulse signals. From the properties of impulse signal, we know that if you want to find out any function value, say this is the function, if you want to find out any function value at x is equal to x naught, at x is equal to x naught, then we are using this equation, integral minus infinity to plus infinity phi of x del of x minus x naught dx will give the function value at x is equal to x naught, because del of x minus x naught, del of x minus x naught will be having value 1. Okay, at x is equal to x naught, it is having value 1 only at x is equal to x naught. That is why we will be getting the value of the function at x is equal to x naught. So what is this integral gives? This integral gives the value of the function phi at x is equal to x naught. Okay, so what is that when we get this value? Only if this phi of x is, only if this phi of x is continuous function at x is equal to x naught. If phi of x does not exist at x is equal to x naught, then you will not get the value phi of x naught. Okay, so only this value we will get only if phi of x is a continuous function at x is equal to x naught. Okay, and what is del of x? Del of x is called impulse signal. How we denote impulse signal? The impulse signal will be denoted like this. It is having the infinite amplitude. The amplitude will be infinite and duration will be 0. The duration will be 0 and it will exist at x is equal to x naught. it will be exist at x is equal to 0. And what is that here? The area, total area of this impulse signal will be always 1. The total area of the impulse signal will be always 1. Okay, so how we denote the impulse signal? Impulse signal can be interpreted as a function with the infinite amplitude. Okay, and the area of unity and zero duration. Okay, so the impulse signal and unit step signal are related by, so it is related like this: del of x is equal to du of x by dx. Okay, and what is u of x now? U of x will be integral of del of x, so integral minus infinity to x del of psi d psi will be u of x. Okay, so the general impulse signal is shown as a vertical arrow. How do we show this? It will be shown as a vertical arrow at the point x is equal to x naught, having the amplitude equal to the amplitude of step function for which it is the derivative. For example, we have a step function like this. Step function is existing at x is equal to x naught. Okay, so how do we denote this derivative here? The say step function is having the amplitude is equal to a, so the derivative will be denoted like this. We will be having the impulse signal at x is equal to x naught. Okay, and what is the amplitude of impulse signal will be a. Okay, so this is the step signal we have. Say it is u of x. Okay, so and it is function of x here. This is the function of x, and the impulse signal, the derivative of step signal will be denoted like this. It is having the value at x is, because we are finding the derivative at x is equal to x naught, no? So at x naught, what is that? We have the impulse. Okay, so this impulse exists at x naught, and what is the amplitude of impulse will be, what is the amplitude of step signal? Okay, so the amplitude of step signal is a. The impulse signal will also be having the amplitude is equal to a. Okay, so in the case of discrete random variable, so continuous distribution function CDF, that is fx of x, can be denoted as summation I is equal to 1 to n p of xi u of x minus xi. That is why we are getting state step waveform. Okay, now the what is PDF? That is probability density function. Probability density function is derivative of continuous distribution function. Okay, so if you find out the derivative of this equation, so in the place of u, we will be having the impulse signal. So we will be having the impulse signal. So if you see the formula of PDF, the PDF formula is given like this: summation I is equal to 1 to n p of xi del of x minus xi. Okay, now if you see, this is the figure of PDF. This is the figure of distribution function CDF. This is the figure of CDF. Okay, so from this we can see it is having state step waveform with the different amplitudes like this. Okay, now what is PDF? PDF is derivative of CDF. PDF is derivative of CDF. Okay, now if you observe where we will be having the impulse signals, we will be having the impulse signals wherever the step waveform amplitude is raised. Okay, so here at this particular locations, the amplitude of step waveform is raised. Only at these locations we will be having the impulse signal. Now what is the amplitude of impulse signal? How much it is raised here? So the first time it is raised by 0.1. For second time it is raised by 0.2. Okay, from this particular point, how much it is raised? So it is 0.2. From this particular point, how much it is raised? That is 0.1. So at 0.7, we will be having 0.1. At 1.5, we will be having 0.4. And at 3, we'll be having the value is equal to 0.2. So if you see this continuous distribution function, sorry, cumulative distribution function is having state step waveform. Cumulative distribution function will be having state step waveform, whereas PDF, probability density function, will be having the impulses. The amplitude of impulses will be equal to the amplitude of step. How much, what is the amplitude of step? Okay, So this is the figure that gives us what is the relation between cumulative distribution function and probability density function. Now we'll see what are the properties of density function. The first property is that 0 less than or equal to fx of x. It means that the probability density function is non-negative. Okay. The second property is that integral minus infinity to plus infinity fx of x dx is equal to 1. It means that the area under PDF curve is always unity. Okay. Now we know that what is the relation between CDF and PDF. Okay, PDF is derivative of CDF. Now what is CDF? That is cumulative distribution function is integral of probability density function. So it is integral minus infinity to x fx of psi d psi. Okay, then if you want to find out what is the probability between x1 and x2, x1 less than x less than or equal to x2, it is given as integral x1 to x2 fx of x dx. Okay, so this equation mainly is very important to solve the problems. Okay, now these two equations, first two equations, equation 1 and equation 2, the first two properties are very important to check when any function is probability density function or not. Okay, if any function is given, to check whether that function is probability density function or not, we have to use the properties 1 and 2. Okay, now what is property 1? So property 1 is fx of x is always non-negative number. So we know that fx of x is derivative of cumulative distribution function fx of x. Okay, and just now we have discussed that cumulative distribution function will be having the values between 0 and 1. Okay, so the minimum value is 0, maximum value is 1, and we also discussed that cumulative distribution function is monotonically increasing function. So cumulative distribution function is always positive. So what is the derivative of fx of x? Fx of x is also non-negative because fx of x is always positive. So the derivative of this will also be non-negative. Okay, so because it is monotonically increasing function, since it is increasing, the slope is positive, so that the derivative is positive. Okay, and integral minus infinity to plus infinity fx of x dx is equal to 1. So we know that fx of x is equal to d by dx of fx of x. Okay, so PDF is equal to derivative of CDF. Okay, now we just integrate it. Integral minus infinity to plus infinity fx of x dx is equal to integral minus infinity to plus infinity d by dx of fx of x dx. Okay, so now we dx will get cancelled. Now we'll be having derivative of fx of x. Now if you do the integration of derivative of fx of x, we get fx of x. We get only fx of x. Now we substitute the limits. The upper limit is infinity, the lower limit is minus infinity. So fx of infinity minus fx of minus infinity we get. So we know that what is the maximum value of cumulative distribution function will be 1. So fx of infinity is 1 minus fx of minus infinity is 0. So this value is equal to 1. Okay, so then the third property is that fx of x is equal to integral minus infinity to plus infinity fx of v dv. Okay, so we know that CDF is integral of PDF. Okay, it is given that what is that CDF, cumulative distribution function, is integral of probability density function. So fx of x is what? Fx of x PDF is equal to derivative of CDF. Okay, now we integrate on both sides. If we integrate on both sides, what will be getting? Integral minus infinity to x fx of x dx is equal to integral minus infinity to x d by dx of fx of x dx. Dx will cancel. We get d fx of x. So by integrating d fx of x, we get fx of x. Now the substitute the limits minus infinity to x. So if you substitute the limits, the upper limit is fx of x minus fx of minus infinity. Okay, from the properties of cumulative distribution function, we know that fx of minus infinity is 0. So that we get fx of x. Okay, so what is fx of x? fx of x is integral minus infinity to x fx of x dx. Okay, so if probability density function is given, if they ask you to find out CDF, cumulative distribution function, we use this particular property to find out the CDF from PDF. CDF can be found by using PDF. Okay, then we see the last property. The last property says that, okay, if you want to find out what is the probability between x1 less than x less than or equal to x2, probability of x1 less than x less than or equal to x2 will be equal to integral x1 to x2 fx of x dx. Okay, so it is given as probability of x1 less than x less than or equal to x2 will be what? Okay, so we know that from the property of a distribution function, it will be equal to fx of x2 minus fx of x1. So this particular equation we get from distribution function properties. Okay, from the properties of distribution function, we get probability of x1 less than x less than or equal to x2 will be equal to fx of x2 minus fx of x1. Okay, now we know that what is fx of x2? Fx of x2 is integral minus infinity to x2 fx of x dx. So this relation we got from the previous property. See this property, so the previous equation. So if you see this equation, okay, if you see this equation, what is fx of x2? So it is integral minus infinity to x2 fx of x dx. Okay, and similarly fx of x1, fx of x1 will be what? Integral minus infinity to x1 fx of x dx. Okay, so here if you observe that, what is here? X1 is less than x less than or equal to x2. So x1 is occurring first, then x2 is occurring. Okay, so x1 less than x less than or equal to x2. So x1 will be occurring first, then x2 will be occurring. So this can be written as, okay, now you see this we divide into two parts because we have the integral minus infinity to x1 x2 minus infinity to x1. See this figure, minus infinity to x1 minus infinity to x2. Okay, so minus infinity to x2, first integration minus infinity to x2 we divide into two parts, minus infinity to x1 plus integral x1 to x2. So this the first integral we have divided into two parts, integral minus infinity to x1 fx of x dx plus integral x1 to x2 fx of x dx minus the second integral minus infinity to x1 fx of x dx. In this, these two terms will get cancelled because these two gives us same result. So we left with what? Integral minus infinity x1 to x2 integral x1 to x2 fx of x dx. So probability of x1 less than x less than or equal to x2, probability of x1 less than x less than or equal to x2 will be what? So it is integral x1 to x2 fx of x dx. So this is our fourth property. Using this fourth property, we can find out what is the probability between x1 and x2 using PDF. Okay, so from these properties 1 and 2 require that density function is non-negative, okay, and have the area of unity, and these two properties may also be used as test to see if some function can be valid probability density function. Okay, if both the conditions, both these properties are satisfied, if both the properties are satisfied, then we say that the given function is valid PDF function. Okay, so then we say that the given function is valid PDF function. Okay, so these are the properties, and here we'll discuss one problem. So the probability density function is given like this. It is having the value 0 for 3 greater than x greater than or equal to 13. Okay, x minus 3 by 25 for 3 less than x less than 8. Okay, and 0.2 minus x minus 8 by 25 for 8 less than or equal to x less than 13. Okay, find the probability that x has the values greater than 4.5 but but not greater than 6.5. Okay, so we have to find out what is the probability that x value is between 4.5 and 6.7. 4.5 and 6.7. So in this range 4.5 to 6.7. So in this range fx of x is defined by this equation. So only this range includes the range of 4.5 to 6.7. Okay, so in this case what is x1? X1 is 4.5, x2 is 6.7. Okay, that is included in this range, so we have to take the second equation to solve this problem. Okay, so just now we have discussed that from the properties, probability of x1 less than x less than or equal to x2 will be equal to integral x1 to x2 fx of x dx. Okay, so from the problem what we have to do, we have to find out what is the probability between 4.5 and 6.7. So it is integral 4.5 to 6.7. In this range what is fx of x? It is x minus 3 by 25. Fx of x is x minus 3 by 25. Okay, so we will be using x minus 3 by 25. Okay, so here we are using x minus 3 by 25 dx. So after integrating and substituting the limits, we got 0.2288. Okay, so thus the event, what is the probability of an event between 4.5 less than x less than or equal to 6.7 is 0.2288. Okay, or if you write it in the percentage, it is 22.88 percentage. Okay, now we'll discuss one more problem here. A random variable x is shown to have the distribution function fx of x is given by this function u of x 1 minus e power minus x squared by b, where b is greater than 0 is a constant. Find its density function. Okay, so distribution function is given, we have to find out density function. So what is density function? Density function is derivative of distribution function. Okay, so now you see here we have two functions ma. So we have x1 x2, we have two functions here. Now we do derivation by parts. Here we will be doing derivation by parts. Okay, so the derivative of first one into the second first one, so u of x derivative of the first function plus, okay, and derivative of u of x into the function x, 1 minus e power minus x squared by 2. So since we have two functions, we will be doing derivation by parts. Okay, and we know that what is the, see here, the first term is written is the second term here. It is 1 minus e power minus x squared by 2 du of x by dx. So derivative of step function is impulse signal here. Okay, and u of x we will be getting like that only. Now derivative of 1 is 0. What is derivative of minus e power minus x squared by 2 is 2x by b, minus 2x by b. This minus will get cancelled, so we get e power minus x squared by b. Okay, now after solving this, okay, see here, this is it is multiplied with del of x. Del of x is having value 1 only at x is equal to 0 nama. Del of x is having value 1 only at x is equal to 0. So now we will be substituting x is equal to 0 in this equation. We get 1 here, 1 minus 1 0. So that is why we will not get this term. Okay, so we left with only this term. Okay, so what is that? We get u of x 2x by b e power minus x squared by b. Okay, so now we'll discuss what is Gaussian random variable. So the Gaussian random variable is any random variable x is called Gaussian random variable if its density function is having this form. If a density function of any random variable is defined like this, okay, so then it is called Gaussian random variable. Okay, so in this mu of x, sigma of x is greater than 0, and ax value is varying from minus infinity to plus infinity, and all these two are the real constants. Okay, now if you plot this Gaussian random variable, we will be getting a figure like this. Okay, so we are getting a bell shaped waveform. Okay, and if you see this equation, see this equation, observe this equation. If you observe this equation, when we have maximum value, we'll be having maximum value when x is equal to ax. Okay, when x is equal to ax, we will be having maximum value. So e power 0 will be having 1. Okay, so what is the maximum amplitude will be? It is 1 by root of 2 pi sigma x square. This is the maximum magnitude. And when here, if you observe this, this amplitude will be reduced to half when, okay, is reduced to some value here when you substitute x is equal to ax minus sigma x, ax plus sigma x. If you substitute ax minus sigma x, okay, so ax will get cancelled. Substitute x is equal to ax minus sigma x, ax will get cancelled, so we get sigma x square, sigma x square will get cancelled, so we will be getting e power minus 1 by 2. E power minus 1 by 2 value will be equal to what? 0.607. It is equal to 0.607. Okay, similarly if you substitute x is equal to ax plus sigma x, then also we will be having the value is equal to 607 divided by what is the value we have here? It is root of 2 pi sigma x square. Okay, so from this equation we observe that when x is equal to ax, we will be having the maximum amplitude. Okay, when x is equal to ax minus sigma x, when x is equal to ax plus sigma x, we will be having the amplitude is equal to 0.607 divided by root of 2 pi sigma x square. Okay, so that is why the Gaussian random variable will be having the bell-shaped waveform. Okay, so the same thing we have observed here. Now what is distribution function? The distribution function is nothing but integral of density function. Okay, so if you integrate that density function, we will be getting distribution function. Okay, so this distribution function does not have any closed form solution. Okay, that is why we will be using approximation method to solve this distribution function. Okay, so before finding the approximation method, first we will discuss what is normalized case. So in the normalized case, if ax is equal to 0 and sigma x is equal to 1, okay, then the distribution function is called normalized distribution function. See in this equation, substitute ax is equal to 0, sigma x is equal to 1. In equation 2, substitute ax is equal to 0 and sigma x is equal to 1. Then what is that we get? We get normalized distribution function. Okay, so the general distribution function, we write it as fx of x. The general distribution function will be writing it as fx of x. Okay, and normalized distribution function we will be writing it as f of x. Okay, and here from the approximation we have observed that f of minus x, is also equal to 1 minus f of x. Okay, so and this is also don't have any closed form solution. Okay, now we can obtain what is the relation between generalized distribution function and normalized distribution function. If we replaced generalized distribution function, the variable in the generalized distribution function, with u is equal to v minus ax by sigma x, okay, then we get the relation between normalized and generalized distribution function. So the generalized distribution function, we will be finally getting it as 1 by root of 2 pi integral minus infinity x minus ax by sigma x e power minus u square by 2 du. If we compare this equation with the normalized distribution function, you compare this equation with the normalized distribution function, these two are same. Only that in the place of x, here in the place of x, what we have here, okay, so in the generalized distribution function we have it is x minus ax by sigma x. Okay, in the place of x we have x minus ax by sigma x. So from by comparing this generalized distribution function and normalized distribution function, we get the relation between them. The relation between them is fx of x is equal to f of x minus ax by sigma x. Okay, so we have discussed that what is a distribution function. Distribution function is the integral of density function. Okay, so and we also know that the distribution function will be having the value, minimum value is 0, the maximum value is 1. Okay, now if you find out what is the distribution function, the distribution function of a Gaussian random variable will be having the shape like this. Okay, and if we evaluate that equation at x is equal to ax, we get the value is equal to 0.5. At x is equal to ax minus sigma x, we get the value as 0.159. Okay, like that. At x is equal to ax plus sigma x, we get the value as 0.841. Okay, and we can observe that it is its minimum value is 0 and maximum value is 1. Okay, so this is the distribution function. Okay, and we also know that the normalized distribution function can also evaluated by approximation. Okay, how do we evaluate this? To evaluate normalized distribution function, we use f of x is equal to 1 minus q of x. Okay, what is q of x? Q of x is given by the formula 1 by root of 2 pi integral x to infinity e power eta square by 2 d eta. Okay, and it is also does not have any closed form solution. That is why q of x can be found by using approximation. So what is the equation we use to obtain q of x here? Q of x can be obtained by using this equation. So this equation should be, we should know this equation, then only we can solve these problems, otherwise it is not, it is difficult to solve the problem. So q of x is given by 1 by 1 minus ax plus a into root of x square plus b into e power minus x square by 2 root of 2 pi for x greater than or equal to 0. Okay, by approximation we found that a value is equal to 0.339, b value is equal to 5.510. So for all the values for x greater than or equal to 0, a should be taken the same value. A will be always same, b is also same. A is equal to 0.339, whereas b is equal to 5.510. Okay, so if you solve this by using this approximation, we will be getting very less error. So the what is the error